Hello everyone. Today is Sunday, February the 5th, 9:16 p.m. I will be born tomorrow on February 6th around midnight. So you can say beginning of a day, that would be February 6th, or end of a day, that would be February 5th. I've decided to give myself a present and to the world a present. That's those of you who watch my YouTube videos, of certain insights and honesty. So I've decided to make a series of videos, as many as time and energy permits, between now and tomorrow, or even during the entire week of my birthday, about different insights and knowledge I've gained over the past 44 years. That is, I'll be turning 44 tomorrow, according to one of my young nephews. And the other thing, I'm going to be 43. That's because he thinks I'm going to be 43 because I was 42 last year. So this is the 7 years old. It's confusing me into thinking that I'm a year younger than I think I am. Whereas the one who's going to be 9 this year actually does agree with me. At his age 9, society has taught him to comply and just listen to their elders. If I say it's going to be 44, he's going to say it's going to be 44. Whereas the younger one is still being naughty and have a little confused mind of his own. Anyhow, as always, I've decided not to put any makeup on while making this video because I'm too lazy. And besides, I don't think my skin is unhealthy enough to put more crap on my face that I ingest the various pollutants in the environment. Anyhow, enough preamble said. This particular video is dedicated to Moses Znaimer. I guess the media visionary, a broadcaster, according to his website, which I checked again this morning and now tonight. Moses Znaimer is on my mind as I get healthier. He has been on my mind quest, actually on and off, over the last 3 or 4 years, since 2008. I think I met him in person on Friday the 2nd May 2008 at Ryerson University, where he was giving a lecture, I guess associated with the launch of a column for Zoomers magazine. And I was supposed to interview him later that evening, and then but I couldn't do that interview because I almost had a nervous breakdown at the local police station nearby, and then as a consequence got arrested, and I think I was kept in jail for 3 days maybe, or 2 days, or 4 days. It's all a blur. I'll have to check the legal notes. So consequently, I couldn't interview Moses Znaimer, and I kind of felt bad about it because it was just something I wanted to do that day and I couldn't do. So then I attempted to set up an interview with him by communicating with 2 of his offices. And then it looks like between so many secretaries and messages back and forth, it just didn't happen. And then I ended up sending a list of interview questions to Moses Znaimer, and then it looks like that didn't go anywhere either, because some of my questions inspired him so much that he got busy doing different work that kind of sparked his creativity. And then time goes by, and then I tried to, what did I try to do? Oh yes, I tried to give him some photographs I'd taken of him. I think that was in 2010. during the public or political talk about during the Toronto's municipal election. And I couldn't do that either because some guys who were volunteering for one of the candidates, or two of the candidates, decided that perhaps I was really into their tablet that they were using to list volunteers for their candidate than I actually was into speaking with the person, or giving to the person the photographs that I had taken, come all the way from Scarborough to downtown to do so. It's amazing how zealous volunteers can get when it comes to politics and helping out their favorite candidate. That they think when somebody's going to stop out at their table that they should hang on to that person forever and forever, regardless of the fact that person may have to go and do other things. Anyhow, apparently I think Moses Znaimer and some of his staff or associates might have heard about this incident, because I ended up shouting at them and telling them Moses Hoare is here. And apparently some of these young men or women who were present there must have had quite a fun after I left, because the excitement was palpable on their faces at the thought of Moses Znaimer having a whore, or any Moses having a whore. So maybe after speaking with Moses, I may have to speak to some of these young people and say how was their party later that evening or that night. Perhaps all of them decided to get whores of their own at the thought of Moses have a whore. Now, does Moses have a whore? I have no clue. I haven't interviewed Moses Znaimer. And did biblical Moses have a whore? I have no clue, because I'm not finished with my research yet. I know Jesus had a whore, but that's more common knowledge in Christianity. But as far as Moses of Old Testament whore, I'm not sure yet. I know he had a golden calf or cow, something like that. But anyhow, those are the things I have to study further. But let's stick to the Moses that lives still in 2012. And I would like to ask him some questions. And so now it's 2011, 2012, and I'm a middle-aged woman, and I think Moses is probably at least 10 or 20 years older than me. That's Moses Znaimer, not the Bible's Moses, or any other Moses. So that means, according to average Canadians' life expectancy, he is probably going to be nearing the end of that so-called, what is it for men, 80 years plus or something? Average. That's not say he could be like above average or below average. I don't know. I'm not his doctor, and I don't have his medical history. These averages are based on, I guess, general health conditions, not unexpected events. So I think I should interview him, and I think he should give me that interview and get rid of all these middlemen and women that I have to deal with when I phone him or write to him to get an interview. So this is an open YouTube media invitation to Moses Znaimer to say I think he should give me an interview. And if he gives me an interview, instead of giving him candy, toys, clap, clap, monkey, which I was planning to give it to him in 2009, 2010, I will actually give him some good tips about hair enhancement, natural hair enhancement, how to make thinning hairs better. So his hair looked thinner in the newer video that I saw on his website today, and this website was apparently updated on June 13th, 11. And in 2008, he wasn't going to get any tips on hair enhancements or clap clap monkeys. All he was going to do was going to get a simple, respectful interview, which I guess was spoiled by courtesy of protesters who wanted to protest, to let him know that they're poor and their parents are poor and they cannot afford all this nice stuff that's, I guess, was being advertised in Zoomers. And then it got spoiled by unhelpful police officers at the downtown police office, and then later on it got delayed by all the unhelpful doctors who actually thought I wasn't injured and nothing happened. At the police stations, no assault, no nothing. So if I'm not injured, I guess they didn't feel they could treat me. And in order to treat someone, a doctor has to diagnose some sort of a mental or a physical injury to that person. And if they didn't see anything physical or psychologically injuring that person, then how can they treat that person? What a shame. So I had to do a job of a doctor on myself between year 2008 and present, and my treatment of me is still continuing. And this is not to say that some of the very helpful doctors that I met, that they contributed toward my well-being. And I'm very appreciative of those people. But at the same time, I'm very disgusted and scornful of those who were not helpful at all and who actually made my life more difficult and who made things difficult for me by doing a very incompetent job and also by doing nothing. Because sometimes doing nothing is worse than or just as bad as doing something harmful. Anyhow, this is it. And Moses will get a special email from me just to let him know to be sure to watch this video. And that's about it. And I'm not harassing Moses Znaimer according to John Thornton. He thought I was harassing him. That's not true, John. I think it's John Thornton. That was the one who picked up the phone. Unless I misheard it. Because sometimes my ears can get plugged in because of sinuses or inflammation. And I guess Leanne, I'm assuming, still works for him as his media assistant. Leanne, bad girl, bad business. Rule of thumb, if you're able and healthy and drawing a paycheck from someone, or even if you're not drawing a paycheck from somebody, even if you're doing volunteer work for them, with the hope of getting paid work, or hope of getting at least a good reference, good thing is you should return people's calls the same business day that they come, or at least the very least if you're super busy during the same business week. And if you neglect and fail to do that, it never hurt to apologize and say, I'm sorry, we'll get back to you earlier, what can I do for you now? It really goes a long way, a little bit of courtesy and respect for the person who's contacting your employer, who's actually the public figure and does want to be contacted and is accessible or want to be accessible. When you show that respect to the person who's trying to communicate with your employer, you actually are doing a good job. And when you don't do that, you actually promote, I don't know what you promote. I guess Leanne knows what she promoted in me. So anyhow, that's all I have to say because I'm getting tired. I think I was up, I was awake till midnight last night, and then I was up early too, and I'm tired. And I've been rebuilding myself by trying to remove as much toxicity out of myself as I can, and then rebuilding my body with actually more healthier stuff than some of the very toxic prescription drugs that I took between 2008 and now, and even prior to that time. And not to mention the toxic people I had to deal with and the toxic environment I've been living in. So a lot of these things take time to repair. Okay, so this is it.